Bonjour tout le monde and welcome into my kitchen, the Gay Gourmand here, and I am so excited today to teach you all how to make some delicious homemade pizzas. Nothing compares to just grabbing a fresh slice of pizza, whether you're in a big city like Paris, New York, no matter where you are, and grabbing that slice of pizza with homemade fresh ingredients, fresh out of the oven, nothing quite like it. And making homemade pizza is really not that difficult. You will need to factor in time though. It takes about 2.5 hours for the dough to rise a few times. There's a few different steps that I'll show you, but just plan accordingly. And you can go ahead and refrigerate your dough as well, as long as you have it in an airtight container. For up to a week. I would say no more than 7 days. And the fun part is this dough makes enough pizzas for 4. You can easily double it if you're having a bunch of family over or a bunch of friends just for a fun pizza night. Just imagine a few bottles of wine, a bunch of toppings set up. That sounds like a fun evening to me. And if you're making dinner for your family, get the kids involved. Let them help with grating the mozzarella cheese or organizing the toppings and just having fun with it. It really is a fun idea if you can get everybody involved. Plus, everyone can make their own unique pizzas to their own tastes. Okay, all this talk of pizza, I'm getting hungry, so let's get started. To start the pizza dough, go ahead and mix a 1/2 cup of milk that's been sitting out at room temp, and then 3/4 of a cup of warm water. You want it to be about 125 degrees. And then I will sprinkle in 2 tablespoons of dry yeast. Go ahead and stir it up. And go ahead and sit the coffee cup in a warm place for about 15 to 20 minutes. While my yeast mixture is working on having its chemical reaction, I will go ahead and add in both flours that I sifted. I have 2 3 cups sifted cake flour, and then 1/3 of a cup sifted all-purpose flour. Put it in a big bowl, mix them together, and then add in 3/4 teaspoon of fine salt. Make sure everything's mixed well together. All right, set aside and wait for your yeast. And once you achieve a lot of foam in your coffee cup with the yeast mixture, you're ready to start. Grab your flour and salt mixture and your yeast, and go ahead and just pour it in. And start working it as fast as you can with a wooden spoon. All right, looks like we're ready to knead the dough. To begin kneading, sprinkle your work surface with some flour. Pour the dough onto your work surface, and this is where we will knead the dough for no more than 10 minutes. You don't want to overwork your pizza dough. And of course, the reason why you flour your workstation is to avoid stuff like this. It's sticking everywhere. All right, this is what your dough should look like after you're done kneading it. You want it to be just past sticky, and then grab a big bowl, lightly oil it with olive oil, go ahead and set it in, and cover lightly with plastic wrap. Let it sit for 2 hours. 2 hours has passed, and look at our dough. It is about twice the size as when we first put it in the bowl. So it's good to go. Let's go ahead and dump it out and cut it into 4 pieces of dough. And again, that's why you put olive oil on the bottom so it doesn't stick and it comes out effortlessly. Love it. All right, so I'm just gonna slice this. Put a little more flour, just a touch. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make 3 pizzas tonight, and I'll put the other dough in the fridge. Again, you can put it in the fridge for up to a week, but these need to go ahead and sit anywhere from 10 minutes up to an hour. go ahead and cover with a kitchen towel loosely. You want these to rise a little bit. Now, I'm going to puncture the inner part. Now with the fork, I'm just going to create some holes in the center part of the pizza dough. And you only do this so that when you're cooking the pizza, you don't have a big bubble in the middle. I'm sure you've all seen pizzas with a big bubble in the middle. The taste, the flavor, everything's going to be there. It's just not the prettiest to look at. And here at the Gay Gourmand, we only eat beautiful food. Just kidding. And I'm going to use some of my favorite olive oil. This is garlic olive oil. I'll go ahead and put a link to it if you're interested on my website. All right, so once you've done this step, do not put toppings on just yet. You want to transfer this to either a pizza stone or a baking sheet, and you want to pre-bake it for about 7 minutes on 4. While the pizza's in the oven, these are some toppings that I've prepared. Some fresh mozzarella cheese along with your pizza sauce. I actually took marinara sauce and tomato sauce. I simmered it on about medium for 15 minutes. To get rid of that excess fluid, because you don't want a lot of water going into your pizza when you put it in the oven, otherwise it's going to get pretty soggy. And then I added in some onion powder and a little bit of Italian seasoning. Then I also have some spinach and I have some uncured pepperoni I cut up a little bit because I didn't want the pepperoni to take over the entire pizza. I love uncured pepperoni. It just means that it was naturally preserved versus using synthetic preservatives. The flavor is amazing when it comes to uncured meat of any kind. And then I love the heat, so I've got some sliced jalapenos I'm gonna put on top. The great thing is with your toppings, you can truly customize a pizza to your 100% liking, which I love. Okay, it's been 7 minutes. I'm going to take the pizza crust out of the oven and let's go ahead and start building. Beautiful. All right, looks good to me. Let's pop it back in. 15 minutes later, we have fresh homemade pizza right out of the oven. And of course, because I like a little spice, I'm going to put some crushed red peppers on top as well. Again, you gotta make this pizza however you want. Look how perfect that crust is. By pre-cooking it, you allow that crust to get a little crisp and to really cook that dough. All right, well, let's cut into it. That bread is cooked perfectly. And then you have the outer crunch on your crust. Let's give it a taste. Yep, there's that crunch. Wow, that's really good. This is a keeper, and I know you're going to love this recipe. And think about all the fun things you can do with all the toppings. Well, until next time, remember to cook and bake fearlessly. Wow, oh my gosh.